Hey everyone, so you're looking to upgrade your stereo setup but don't want to break the bank on separate preamps and power amps? I totally get it. Cheap all-in-one receivers sound thin, get noisy, and just don't have that warm, full-bodied sound you crave. That's why I've been testing the Marantz Model 30 Integrated Amplifier, and it's actually doing something most budget boxes can't. It sounds like a real stereo amp should. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've had this Marantz sitting on my desk for a few weeks now, paired with a pair of Klipsch RP600 M2 speakers, and honestly, it's been a game of why didn't I do this sooner? The Model 30 isn't some flashy new brand trying to undercut everyone on price. It's a proper integrated amp from a company that's been building them since the 1950s. That heritage shows in the build quality and the sound. First off, the power output is solid. You get 50 watts per channel into 8 ohms, which might not sound like a ton on paper, but in real-world listening, it's more than enough to fill a medium-sized room without straining. I've had it cranked up with jazz and classic rock, and it never gets harsh or distorted. The bass is tight, the mids are clear, and the highs have that nice airy presence you only get from a dedicated amp. It's not trying to be a monster, it's just doing what it's supposed to do really well. Another thing that surprised me is how quiet it stays. A lot of budget receivers hiss or buzz when you turn the volume down, but the Model 30 is dead silent even at low levels. I've used it for late-night listening with headphones, and there's no annoying white noise in the background. That's a small detail, but it makes a huge difference when you're actually trying to enjoy music without distractions. The build quality is another standout. The chassis is heavy and solid, not that flimsy sheet metal you find on some cheaper units. The front panel has a nice tactile feel, and the knobs are smooth without being too loose. It's the kind of thing that feels like it'll last a decade, not 2 years. Plus, the display is clean and easy to read, even from across the room. I also really like the connectivity. It's got a good mix of inputs, 2 balanced XLRs, a phono stage for turntables, and multiple RCA inputs for CD players or streamers. The phono stage is particularly good. I've used it with a Project Debut Carbon and the sound is rich and detailed, with proper RIAA curve matching. If you're getting back into vinyl, this amp handles it without needing a separate phono preamp. One thing I noticed right away is how well it pairs with different sources. I've plugged in a Shite Moni 2 for phono, a Bluesound node for streaming, and even a cheap CD player just to test it out. The Model 30 treats each source with respect, no muddying up the sound or adding artificial warmth. It's neutral enough to let your speakers shine, but warm enough to make everything sound inviting. Now, I should mention a couple of things that might not be perfect for everyone. First, it's not the smallest amp out there. If you're tight on space, this might feel a bit bulky compared to some ultra-compact units. Second, while the power output is fine for most rooms, if you're trying to fill a large living room or have inefficient speakers, you might want to look at something with a bit more muscle. But for the average listener, 50 watts is plenty. Overall, the Marantz Model 30 is a fantastic integrated amp for anyone who wants real stereo sound without the hassle of separate components. It's quiet, well-built, and sounds great with everything from vinyl to streaming. If you're tired of cheap receivers that cut corners, this one's worth the investment. Link is below if you want to take a closer look.